Hey, I'm Julia Wagner, and I'm interviewing Ryan Loveeachother about his new book, American Terrorist. So Ryan, what would you say this book is about?
This book, content-wise, is about the making of the San Bernardino Shooter named Saeed Farouk, who allegedly, along with his wife, in 2015, on December 2nd in the morning, shot and killed 14 and wounded 22 others in what was then deemed the worst act of terror on U.S. soil since 9/11. So this book starts 6 months prior to that shooting, and through the surveillance of his iPhone 5C, through his screenshots, chronicles his everyday life, phone conversations, text messages, Google searches, maps, place visited, selfies, from sort of the birth of both his daughter and the birth of his plans to have this shooting. And really attempts to understand the psychological making of a terrorist logistically, as well as the FBI's involvement in pressuring Saeed Farouk, funding him, as well as encouraging him even when he had doubts.
Interesting. So that's content-wise. Form-wise, can you talk a little bit about why you chose the form?
Yeah, so the form is presented, as the subtitle says, it's a screenshot narrative, which means 80% of the book, as you open it, looks like a graphic novel. There's graphics on 80% of the pages, thanks to my collaborator, Laura Gare, who's a graphic designer. So these pages are easy on the eye replications of what an iPhone screenshot would look like. And then the other 25% are an interstitial thread from an FBI agent who is working with Saeed Farouk, though Saeed Farouk doesn't know this at the time. And so you get the outside perspective looking in. And I chose this form for two reasons. First, because while phones are a ubiquitous part of our life, we use them all the time, we're always on our phones, books and even films and TV shows don't seem to represent the fact that we're always on our screens. And certainly not books. Books haven't, even experimental books, even comic books, even graphic novels, they haven't gone this route of screenshot yet until now, until this book. And the second reason for the form, in addition to being innovative and experimental, like I said, is because I found it supremely suspicious that after the shooting, when the FBI had control of Saeed Farouk's phone and they sued Apple so that Apple would open and unlock the phone in an attempt to get his text messages to gather intel, when they opened the phone finally, after hiring a hacker to do so because Apple refused, the FBI came out and flatly said there's nothing of importance, the cell phone is empty. I found that supremely suspicious given the zeal and passion with which they wanted to access the phone. So this is my sort of pushback on the media story, my pushback on the FBI story, to try and raise doubts and suspicions about the media hype and the media narrative. So it's kind of a twofold reason for the forum.
So why should people read your book?
For two reasons. One, because something like this has never been done before. So this is the first time. I mean, there's graphic novels, novels with graphics, novels with text, and certainly novels with excerpts from phones. But this is the very first novel that is mostly screenshots, shots from phones. And so that experience of being inside someone's phone, which nowadays is like, so yes.
Okay, last question. Do you relate to Saeed Farouk?
Certainly spending so much time with his communications, his text messages, with the details of his life, you know, where he ate fast food, the radio station he listened to, what kind of car he drove, the intimate details of his life, what he confided in his internet searches. Yeah, you do, or I felt a certain affinity for him. And his confessions of being a, unhappy millennial who he on one hand has everything. He's got the cush job, making 90 grand a year, working the 9 to 5. He's got the posh 2014 Lexus. But yeah, he's unhappy. There's certain, and I think that unhappiness is pointed to the American dream and American expectations and the idea of the rat race. I definitely identify with that. And I think that's the Saeed Farouk that I present in my story. The Saeed Farouk that the media has going as their caricature, as sort of this angry, ISIS, needlessly violent, sort of automatic assault rifle. I don't identify with that, and I really don't see from the research I've done the Saeed Farouk that I researched that's in the story. I don't see him identifying with that level of anger either.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. Well, that's all the questions we have today. So thank you for sitting down with me.
And thank you for listening.